Welcome back, Smite fans, to another rousing game in the Animosity Smite server. Today we have the teams Goon Squad and Vulnus Mortale facing off. Joining me here on the desk is Double A. Say hello to the folks at home, Double A.
How's it going, everyone?
Should be a very good series today. Of course, it will be been pre-watched, so we shouldn't have near long as delay as we do for our live stream games. We should be getting in the picking bands quite here shortly. But Double A, what do you expect out of these two teams today?
Well, it was an interesting matchup. We did have Vulnus Mortale move up from lower division at the start of the season, and Goon Squad moved down. So it's kind of a clash here between two teams that are hopefully now in the place they belong, and it should be a good one, like you said. Goon Squad looking to grab their first win of the season. Vulnus Mortale, ever since moving up, have been still doing great in the Midgard division. So we'll see if they can continue that streak here.
Yes, I can't agree even more. And heading to picks and bands, folks. And sometimes there's a little bit of delay, but hey, how's
All
all the
right.
fans at home? Wow, it's good to hear from you too, Flamio.
But yeah, looking at both these teams, we are going to see. I don't know that we've seen Kev with Goon Squad yet. He's semi recent pickup. He now goes by Personify. So he'll be a decent pickup here for them, coming off a team that was doing pretty well, but ended up folding. So it's his new team. But right off the bat, we're going to see that Atlas ban. Of course, kind of obligatory at this point. Definitely a decent god you want to get off the table, and probably one of the strongest guardians right now.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, he's just a force to be reckoned with. We have, of course, a Bastet and a Thoth band. Those are both, just good overall bands. Nobody likes playing against them. Agni as well. I mean, that's like your top four picks right now, honestly. Um,
For
Anything
sure.
you'd be doing different here for your first match against this team? I mean,
I think those
double
are
A.
great. Like you said, those are going to be meta bans, taking those two great mages off the tables. And now, at this third ban, if you're looking at the team that you're playing, if you're Smite Guring or watching other old matches, this is kind of when you would implement that. We're going to see a Gilgamesh ban.
Yeah, Gilgamesh. He's always a favorite around here. A lot of people like playing him, and the Cleo band starting to see a little more popularity here and there as people play her and get used to her.
Both some decent bands. I know Sandwich still kind of looking to
I believe we lost Double A, folks. It's okay. I will carry on from there. So yeah, we Sandwich. He likes playing that Cleo some still, so they're just trying to get it out of his hands. Like I said, we'll try to get Double A back in, but I'm on the solo cast now, so let's just see what the first pick ends up being. Ooh, Erlong Shin. That's a very sturdy pickup for Goon Squad. I mean, that can either go jungle or I mean support or solo. It's obviously probably going to be a jungle pick, no doubt for Kev, as he is the new picked up jungler, and we have a Finner in the return for Vulnus Mortale. That's a pretty good flex pick right now. Of course, you've got all the people wanting to play him support and not mid jungle. Sorry, folks, it's been a long day, and a soul pickup. That's always pretty good little double thread as well. Return, you got Goon Squad grabbing the Geb. I like the Geb pickup here, especially give a little more CC, and he's able to help the Erlong get in and out of fights. Can't really blame him there. I mean, that's just an overall very good little double comp there, double knockups. Expect to see maybe a Stone of Guy out of Vulnus Mortale on one of their tanks. Might as well. It definitely get a lot of procs today. Um, folks got to say this is kind of a little bit more rough doing it double like this, but hey, Double A is working on it right now. He should be back soon, so
Can you hear me now?
keep our fingers crossed. We can hear you now. Here he is, the
All
return of the
right.
goat, and a Rama pickup for Goon Squad as well. So that's a pretty good deal line there. You got Rama Geb and Erlong at Jungle. How do you feel about those right now, Double A?
Yeah, I think that's a decent pickup. Hopefully, my internet, like you said, stays nice here and plays along with me a little bit. But yeah, Rama, not something you see a whole lot, but can still do a great job for sure. Over in the dual lane, his ultimate is great utility, and honestly, even something to use defensively if you want to buy some time. Geb, like you said, is a strong guardian, something that was like a top band, now kind of falling out a little bit, but still a very strong guardian. And then Erling Shen, going to be great for sure for this Goon Squad team.
And a Persephone pickup, so that's going to be Soul in the ADC. Now, here's the question: is that going to be a Finn or Soul duo lane, or are they just kind of still going to hold that as a flex pick and wait till the end?
Yeah, and it's definitely kind of always a fun little mind game for your opponent when you lock in something like Fenrir, if that's going to go into the jungle or be a support. But we've definitely seen it more as a support. Soul as well, with that Persephone or not ban pick, is most likely going to be heading towards that dual lane, but should be a good one.
Persephone just doing just tons of damage right now. Great ultimate. It's just obviously a very good pickup. And they're going to go ahead and ban away the Achilles, Vulnus Mortale, that is. That's pretty good. Get rid of that execute. Try to keep your backline mages alive. Thanatos ban to Vulnus Mortale, no doubt try to stop J2. See also an Alma ban, always pretty meta. These are all pretty good bans.
Pretty
Still
standard
Cyrus.
bands. Yeah, definitely kind of solid bands out there. We're going to see Nike get picked up as well. Nike's going to be great in the solo lane. Something that I still regard as being really good over in the solo lane. Like once again, was a kind of a great pickup. That was like a first or second pickup, but has fallen out of that now. But still a really good pickup for sure.
Scylla, another strong mage. Honestly, her versus Persephone, it's a pretty good little matchup for both of them. And I mean, with the comp they have all this setup, Scylla, of course, why not? It's
Yes,
overall pretty stout.
for sure. Scylla's just there to do numbers. Persephone as well is going to just use her ultimate as best she can in those team fights, and on cooldown if you really wanted to, can be super valuable. We've seen her come into the meta and be something that a lot of teams have been wanting to pick up lately.
Kuchalin, or Choo Choo, however everyone wants to pronounce him. He's not been seeing as much play, but I've been seeing some of these teams play him lately. So, I expect some good things out of this pick if he can get aggressive early.
Yeah, not something you see a lot, but in the right hands, it can still be super powerful, especially when he gets into that rage form. So I'm not doubting anybody here on Goon Squad. I believe, like you said, this is something they're very comfortable on, and it'll be fun to see how he performs over in the solo lane.
Now, this last pick, are we going to have a support Fenrir or a jungle Fenrir? That's kind of the question we're going through all our minds right now.
Well, support Fender has been super valuable lately. I played against a few of them myself, and it's been horrible to say the least. It's just super annoying with that early game pressure and being able to do so much damage, even though you're a support, is something that's been really annoying to play against, at least for me in my games.
Yeah, I definitely concur. I don't want a Fenrir support get up 15-0 or something. Not a fun time to tell
For
you.
sure.
And they're taking a little time on this pick right now, so we might go to the chat. Any questions for any chatters at home? Any chatters? Yeah, I died.
Yeah, looks. There we go. Looks like we are going to see a pick of Mulan over this. I assume that's Jungle Mulan then, huh?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Nike and Mulan can flex and support as well, but yeah, I think it's got to be a either a Jungle Nike or Jungle Mulan there. I don't think you're going to be putting them in the support role with the Fenrir. So that's who I'm going with right now. And anyways, so folks, stay tuned. We'll be going into the game shortly with Rikuri and Let's Play ADC on the cast.
All right, it is game one. Goon Squad versus Vulnus Mortale. This should be a very exciting game. Right off the bat, looking at both comp right now. I'm liking to both comp from each team. What do you think, Curry? How do you feel about these comps and how they're going to interact with each other throughout the game?
I am actually really liking this comp from Vulnus Mortale. They have a very heavily pressured comp between this Fenrir, the Soul, uh, Milan, and the jungle. I'm assuming as well. This is going to be a lot of pressure across the map. I'm gonna see. We're curious to see actually how Gun Squad plays around it.
For sure, for sure. And especially with the Mortale team, they have, like you mentioned, they have a lot of early pressure, especially with that Fenrir Soul. Those two gods doing very well. Mulan's a little bit also a little bit early, but towards the mid game she kind of comes more online. But that should be very well. I'm actually very surprised to see the scaling from both teams. Some teams lack, and some gods in the blue blue side kind of lack the early pressure, i.e. the Scylla, the Geb. Rama do push a little lower there, but when it comes to scaling, both sides have very good Persephone, Scylla, the Cullen, all really good. So it should be very exciting to see what they're going to move up with. And starting off, looking at the builds, all seem very standard. Any outliers for you anywhere?
Not really. We do see a meditation cloak picked up from this Fenrir, albeit still relatively decent as a support relic. It's definitely fallen off with the nerfs it's gotten recently. You do see Shell on the other side for this Geb. Play much stronger right now in the early game compared to Med. That late game pickup though for Med, reducing your teammates' cooldowns by 1.5 seconds per tick, extremely potent.
I definitely see that, and especially since Fenrir and the Soul, they're looking to maybe fight in the very first few minutes of the game. That meditation might come in very handy for when trades become very close and they need just a little extra health. But starting off starts right here. Erling Scylla going mid. The red side got there first. For sure. Great stun from the Fenrir. A little bit of good. Solar Burst goes off. A little bit of trading goes on. The Rama is getting a bit low. I think they can W key here, and that's what they're going to do. Man, the Soul and this Fenrir just have so much pressure. This duo just have to play very back and make sure that they don't get too poked out. Here comes a shockwave, the stun comes up, the brutalize isn't enough. The shell comes out, still our best comes out, misses an auto, but that is okay. Duo side so incredibly low. How should they continue with this game? Starting out this very unoptimal position.
They definitely really just need to recognize that again, they're already going to be losing lane pressure to a Soul Fenrir. Definitely one of the highest pressure characters in both of their respective roles. Just
Correct,
give
correct.
up that wave, let them per se just take up a couple backs.
And a
Side camp,
gank going off in
disgusting.
Soul. Apologies. Soul get complete. Misses the knockup. Gets. Oh my god! Sandwich churns that. That is crazy. Coming from a gank, that's crazy.
Excellent stun on the Coco in there from his dash form.
The pressure like comes off on the Fenrir again. Ramen was pretty little bit low, but he's gonna be making it out so far. The Geb's a little bit in trouble. Gonna take a lot of poke for this, but keeps his dual laner alive. We can see the Erling kind of going over to the left lane, seeing if he wants to get a gank. Do you think this could be a prime time to gank right now?
You do have obviously both laners on the left side. Very, I'd say healthy, but he is looking for the Fenrir here. Doesn't manage to catch.
Yep, the shockwave comes out. The Erling finally goes, gets the pen, gets the 72 transformation off of her. Should just separate, finally goes off. I think this should be just a dead gank from here. Yeah, and it looks like the Erling is going to retreat from there.
A bit of lost farm on the Erlang side. The Milan is looking for more pressure on the solo side.
Gets the grapple, very nice. Colin does get the root. The cross strike comes out, and the push comes through. Should be fine for now. A little bit better trade from the Mulan side.
Do see him poked out. He is going to have to more than likely back here. Very unfortunate, but this time is back. I think a wave after this Nike may get us tier 2 breastplate here. Gonna be pretty good as a pickup for him.
Of course, of course. Looking at this team comp really quick, of course, having this conversation about around the soul. Should we see pestilence being picked up across the board? How much should this team commit to this anti-heal?
In regards to Goon Squad, you'd have on the side of Vulnus Mortale, you have Soul healing definitely just through lifesteal. She's gonna have her one as well. Fenrir has his two. Purse, albeit very minor, in my opinion, has. Oh, do see an excellent stun here for the Fenrir.
And so close, and the brutalize connects the kill. The Mortals starting off this game, not starting off the game, but getting one under the belt. Didn't realize 2 kills came from the Goon Squad, so that's really good for them. But overall, maybe just like a K off, maybe even less than that, maybe 5K. Also very standard at the moment.
We did have that excellent pick over on the Nike after getting ganked by that Milan earlier.
Ah, you're correct, correct. Totally forgot about that.
do believe that he managed to solo her as well prior to that, so do see some pressure here on these right mids.
So coming up with this jungle matchup, you know, the Mulan, the Erling, the Mulan and the Erling. How is this? How do you think this Mulan should go about dealing with this Erling pressure? Because I do believe Erling does have a bit of a better matchup into the Mulan. I could be wrong.
No, Erlang definitely not even just in the Milan, but almost every jungler that I can possibly think of. Just the amount of CC that character can put down. If you have any form of follow up, even disregarding the follow up, you can almost one shot most squishies in the game. But with a Scylla per se, mage that definitely benefits a
Yeah.
lot of having all of this follow up. It's going to
Def-
be very scary in the mid lane.
definitely. With Geb knockup, the CC coming from Erling, it's gonna be very scary if something connects. A little bit of pressure going on the dual side. Fenrir just looking to see if he can any poke, anything getting off, but the rotations are coming in. He does have to force a Ragnar out. The beasts do go out. Is this gonna keep chasing? He misses the pin. Shockup does go up, and if this Fenrir is gonna go down. The ult
Overextension and overpressure there from the Fenrir. Was looking for the purple, but the purple's already down. Excellent
kind of
cataclysm from the Geb.
barrage coming out. Does he connect all the arrows? Misses tad bit. That's okay. The kill still gets connected. Very good rotation by the Goon Squad. 4-1 right now. That's a kind of the start you want, right? For this type of team
Definitely for
comp.
this comp as well, like I'd say Vulnus Mortale has the upper hand of pressure. They're trying to pull this in front of this Persephone. This is a bit of a sketchy call here. All their team is under 50%.
Grasping
Excellent
Death does
personal.
connect. Oh, Bone Rush. Is this should be killed? This Harvest is. Alright, auto attacks are gonna do it. If you don't have abilities, the best thing you can do is just hit them with your auto attacks. Very nice. Oh, like you are right. That was a bit of a sketchy call. I'm not really sure why they would, you know, commit as much time to the Gold Fury with Persephone right in front of them. But hey, Persephone does make work out of it.
Ooh, excellent
Ooh,
knock up there from the Geb. Caught the dash right off the Fenrir.
we can see the Persephone has finally got her T1 item, as well as Asilla. When it comes to the Mortals, surprisingly, you're still up on gold, even though it is 4-2. That is very good. It's very good map play from them. They are just farming a little bit efficiently, more efficient than the Goon Squad, but that's okay. When you still have those 4 kills, you know the mental is still feeling pretty nice. Um, you know, when it comes, we're now starting to transition a little bit to the mid game, still a little bit in the early kind of we're transitional spots. But what do you think? You know, the Goon Squad needs to do because they are down a little bit. What do you think they need to start
Uh,
pressuring out?
Realistically, this is only a 500 gold difference. It's gonna happen, especially when you have a Geb in duo. I believe most of this difference is from that duo lane. They've got a couple
Mhm.
purple stolen, and with getting that obelisk, they've cut that gold down to 400. Excellent play on
Hmm.
that.
Very
But
nice, very nice. The
uh,
Warlock comes out the gem. Go ahead, Curry.
oh, yeah. But back on that topic though, a lot of this is gonna come just from having mid getting ahead with some of these fights that they've been taking. The jungler for on the side of Goon Squad has been in duo a lot more, right? So there's just a lot more free space to farm for this Persephone. Scylla is also a very low pressure, I'd say, mid
Yeah,
up until around 12, 13 when she gets that max point in her one and gets that AoE route. Much easier to poke out.
for
So
sure.
just play that lane, play very slow. You do have a much better late game comp between Keb, Scylla, and Rom. Excellent characters all in their late game.
Yes. Brodelight comes out,
Excellent root
Sikkim
play
comes
from
out.
Scylla.
Yeah, perfect poke coming out of coming out this fan room makes it just a little bit harder to go for the next dive. A little bit more sketchy, as you would say. So far, the builds are looking pretty nice. Everything's pretty standard. Besides, what do you think about that Berserker Shield on Nike? What do you feel about that?
If she's looking to be hyper aggressive, which Cohen, I feel like you might choose to just give that lane up and play that late game team fight that Nike is well known for. Maybe she's looking to try to contest some form of pressure with this Cohen. He does have breastplate and mystical mail online now though, so that is a full item advantage.
Very,
She
very,
may have to wait until she gets the next item.
very tanky boy coming from the Cocoon. I didn't realize this. Let's look at the builds right now. Fenrir has Rune Forge as well. Um, that item, I don't feel like it should be that great of Fenrir because he only applies what through his stun, and Ragnarok only applies to himself. So he's really giving nobody extra damage, unless I'm wrong in my, you know.
You are correct in that. I do think the item is just excellent as a stat stick. We see it a
Mhm.
lot in physicals right now. That's mainly the priority for that. Is just gives a lot of power, a lot of sustain, both MP5 and HP5. MP5, especially on supports early, feels
Mhm.
really good. You feel like you can cast a bunch. Health as well in the item. The passive is almost negligible. You don't even realistically look at the passive sometimes when you're building the item.
Okay,
Uh,
okay.
but you are foregoing tankiness like this kid, where he's just rushing straight into Thebes. He's going to be extremely tanky once he gets this full Thebes online.
Correct, correct. And I'm thinking about the item. What is the one? What is the one? It's in the same tree. It's the one. Not Blackthorn.
Blackthorn could be, let's see, Sledge, maybe?
Sledge. Yes, Sledge. You think
You see excellent knockup and stun here from the solo and defender.
Burles
Force out the
comes out,
Rumble.
Barrage comes out, Ragnarok comes out. All right. Very nice kill off of that. See if the Erling could get anything done right here. Anything going to come out. Sentinels does get used right here. 72 transformation. The Pens comes out, but the Fairy just jumps out, and it should be a dead Gink. Unless they're playing it, Grasp of Death hits the Erling. Erling's going to get immediately blown
So
up.
much burst from this Persephone.
Beads being used from the Scylla. Scylla is just full on retreat mode. Don't churn back. Just keep going forward.
Just studied for a second there. She was looking about going back. They are just going to look at this red buff instead. Maybe a Gold Fury after. It's
Maybe,
very
perhaps.
unfortunate.
Very, very nice rotation from the Mortales, getting those not only from the Fenrir, getting killing the Gab, getting the Rama very low, but just able to churn that Erlang ganking and give them more of a gold lead. They also take the red. So
You see the
somebody died.
Cullen pick up a kill over in the solo lane actually on the jungler. Looks like Milan was trying to give some form of pressure again to the solo lane. Did not work out. I think realistically, at this stage in the game, J2 does just need to come over to this duo side. They're winning the map very hard on this side of the map. Force golds, force everything, get your soul as big as possible.
The Soul is becoming a very, very prominent figure in this match. Both sides still the favorite. Skull's favorite still Mortals. I apologize. The gold is still favoring the Mortals, just by a little bit. Now it's more of a K gold, a little bit over a K gold lead. So this Goon Squad, I think, doing a pretty decent well job just holding through the early game, letting the Mortals comp be that aggressive, be the one they know like, hey, we're gonna get our stuff taken, stuff's gonna happen, and
You
now
steal
that red.
see a red steal there from the Erlang. Excellent play. And yes, totally agree with you here on your point. Like, as long as they keep this bleeding somewhat stifled on the side of Goon Squad, just make it to that mid to late game where you see all these characters start to shine, put out numerous amounts of damage, and this big Cullen, which we actually see excellent ult there from the Cullen. Looking
The
for this
transformation
Persephone.
Transformer goes off. What happened? The Ragnarok gets pulled. He does end up pulling Geb. Probably not the ideal target. Cataclysm does come out, get a 3-man ultimate. That is very good. 70 transformation goes off. Grasp of Death goes off. I'm a Monster goes off. I'm a Monster does miss. Barrage is coming down. Mulan is just churning this a little bit, but eventually does go down to that Scylla. It's a pretty nice fight from the Goon Squad. It seems very well calculated from my
Goal
perspective.
rotation was massive for them. They got so
Yeah.
much off of that team fight. Excellent play from the rest of the team. Does get a gold fury in terms too from that Cullen rotation. He may have lost the tower, but he's feeling pretty good about that.
Yeah, I don't know about that Fenrir bringing the Geb all the way back to their back line, or to the back of their team, and that Geb just giving a massive ult. Both massive ult come to Colin, Geb, just beautiful team fight from the Goon Squad. So they got the
Very well
gold,
played indeed.
they won the team fight. Do they try to at this point of the game, do they try to start trying to put this pressure onto the cross the map, or should they still be waiting and trying to hold on just a little bit longer until they get more items online and maybe skill a little bit?
Realistically, I'd say team fight stage getting a little bit more online. Obviously, I still think it's not late enough in the game where you have raw one-shot potential from the Scylla or
Oh,
Tank Shred. We just see an excellent stun here from this Fender,
yep.
actually.
Beads do get forced out from the Scylla. Grasp of Death does connect onto the Geb. This Geb, most likely a goner.
It's very difficult to play that character with Persephone ult. Persephone is the bane of tanks, in my opinion, as a mage.
I
Can't think of
100% agree with you.
another mage that makes it as painful or as wanting to get beads on a tank as that character.
And now that you mentioned it, we have this Geb into the Fenrir, into the Persephone. Ooh, that has to just suck a little bit, but overall, this Gab's still bringing in
See some
the
interesting
great.
boxing here.
This purple buff is looking to get invaded. Fenrir is kind of just fishing to see what this realm is going to do. The stun does come out. Ragnarok gets popped. Barrage comes immediately out. The Erling is now here. Let's see what happens here. Pin comes through. A little bit just a boxy from, Erling, just kind of 2v1 right there. The Scylla, or not the Scylla, the Persephone is looking in, Scylla being forced to get out. But they do secure the purple, so that is, well, okay. Like, we can take that trade. Scylla's going to reset. That's perfectly fine. Keep this dual lane somewhat in the game with our purple buff being secured.
We do see this Fenrir actually opting into even another hammer here. Blackthorn, uh, he is at the point in the game where he can realistically get away with just building pure health. There's a lot of power as well in that character. Gab's walking in here in the corner.
Bone Rush does connect. They're not. They're not looking to do anything. They're probably gonna go for Pyro, which is exactly what they're doing at this moment. Geb is gonna be walking in a little bit, see what he can do right here. They're just not in position. They're not in position to.
Oh, nice
Very
try.
nice try. The roller does. The Mulan is very low. Is this Geb gonna be able to catch up?
Excellent.
Nice from the Geb. Cataclysm ends up securing the kill. The Fenrir is coming from the behind. Erling does see him, so he's chasing him out. Nice setup for that Scylla. Sikkim crush hits. Very simple. Just what does she have? Double flap pin? Yeah. She hurts now.
He does actually seem to be opting into what I can only presume is Warlock Staff. I do not know if that item builds into anything else outside of Warlock Staff. It does have percent pen on it, but health into this draft seems a bit interesting. What are your opinions on that?
Um yeah, I think it's a bit I don't want to say it's a weird because Persephone is gonna like late game her abilities literally do like about 1k to squishies and whatnot. So having that extra health might be very good for her. It's just a little awkward that she's building in here. Like I mean she does have double fat pin, so it's a bit okay, but hey, Warlock staff, power, pen, health, like those are good stats, right? On a mage.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Health has always been a question mark. There have been items in the past, like Ethereal Staff comes to mind. Old Gem ISO before the nerfs. You see an
Ragnarok
excellent knockup again. They are looking for the Persephone here in mid.
transformation does pop off. The Aegis does come out of the Persephone. Now the roar comes out, but nice immunity from the Cocolan. The Geb is now the only one kind of in trouble. Seems like Mortale is going to go on this Geb a little bit, but they're trying to get the kill on the Cocolan first. A lot of ultimate does pop out. Mulan ultimate, Nike ultimate. The Abin monster comes out. Does it connect? It hits somebody, but the reset doesn't pop up. The Ramen finally in, but the Scylla double kill. Double kill from what? Crush. The barrage comes out. Can he find it on the Nike? No, but he
Nice.
finds it on the Fenrir. Very nice. Very good patience from Escape right there. That was some team fight. It looked like they went from one side of mid lane to the other side of mid lane. What do you think about that fight?
A lot of ults got dropped right at the beginning there near the tier 1 tower. They ran that fight down. The Soul did not make a rotation, whereas the ROM did. And that ROM rotation, with most of that Vulnus Mortale comp being at 30% health, somewhere around there, is able to just help clean up so many kills. Ended up in a full 4-0, I believe. It's actually
Yeah,
quite well played.
yeah, and it's a bit unfortunate. You would think like the Soul being very ahead. Like all I'm saying, I would wish that Soul was in that fight as well. But very nice rotation. The Nike actually TP's behind them. She's just kind of zoning them out, seeing what's happening. This who's that? Cocolin? Cocolin just walking down the Gold Fury. Apologies, I couldn't
Actually,
quite see what he was doing. But go ahead.
it's a bit rough here because they did just poke out, get poked out rather in the scab, and Cocolan has very little rage after having to flip out. They may not be able to take this next fight.
Gab a little bit out of position, but it's gonna be fine. No one's gonna return on to him. Brutalize comes out.
One thing to
Nope.
note, this scab is half HP, and he doesn't have beads yet opted for this belt of frenzy, so this Fenrir can just pluck him if he realistically wants to. Once these carries get more pen, scab does just kind of flop.
Like he does get in. The Sentinel is being used. Oh, nice Sikkim. Good crush. Double stun from the Geb and the Cocolin. Geb immediately gets burned. The I'm a Monster does hit on the Milan. Grasp of Death comes out. Looks like this Erling is going to go down by the Persephone jump, and it does. It very much does. The Sol is a little bit in trouble now, but the Rom is with her. Can they turn this fight onto the Persephone? Harvest missed. Crush misses. Both Nike and Solar are coming in. Oh, Persephone does get the kill. Oh, she gets a double kill. Nike knock up. That is so good from the Persephone, but unfortunate for the Goon Squad. And they're gonna go straight to gold.
Excellent play from the Persephone there, breaking the ankles.
Yeah.
All of the DPS of Goon Squad. It's very difficult for them to land anything there. Very well played. Managed to secure them the gold too for all the time that she bought.
But still surprising. Like, even with such early aggression coming from Mortales, the gold isn't as bad as you would expect. You know, like, I still think Goon Squad has some of a decent chance to get to the late game, because when those ultimates do collide, when those ultimates do find their mark, we've seen it. Scylla just pops up. So coming to this team fight, do you think Goon Squad needs to play just a little bit more slower? Do you think that overall position, like, what can this Goon Squad do just a little bit just to slow down? Because they are starting the Mortals are starting to pick up a little bit.
Realistically, I would like to see Billy playing a bit more back. He's been trying to play this frontline role when he already has an Erlang and a Cocoan that are playing very hard up. And it's very difficult to also play this Geb into a Fenrir, a Persephone, even a Milan without
Yeah.
being just sitting in that backline, making sure nobody can dive on your squishies, keeping your Scylla, and more importantly, your Rom alive.
And this
Oh,
Erling just gets blown up, a little bit out of position. Unfortunately, none of the teams are there to help him out, and just gets picks off. Persephone Sol, just all the damage in the world.
the items, the buffs they got recently with the release of Season 9 proving to be super potent still.
Comes to Rollout, just going immediately on this Fenrir, the knock up. The Gap's
Just
focused on
get
the Fenrir.
Frenzy buff.
The Persephone grabs the deck, comes out. The dive is coming onto the ROM. Dash being used. Oh, but this ROM is fighting for his life, cannot deal with it. And Scylla does get a kill, but she does get trade out. So very nice trade from Mortales. A little bit. See if this Cocolan could get out free. Gab's a little bit in trouble now. Oh, the roll gets stopped. Grapple does miss, so that's maybe good news for the Geb. Cocolan strangely walking in. They should be fine here, right? There's no way
Yep.
they die.
If anything, there could have been turn potential there into the Milan if there was communication. Billy could have or shielded the Cocolan. Allowed Sandwich to pick up a kill, possibly. They do have to reset here, though. We do see Erlang shifting around the back, looking for possibly a pick.
Erling is by himself. Do they see it? No, they do not see him. This Geb is a little bit distracting them. Here comes the taunt, 70 transformation. Can he get the pin? Is the pin enough? The pin is enough. Catalyst does come off very nice. The Salt Sapper was able to immune that. So this Erling just has to survive. Someone has to get in front of him. All right. Very good dive from this Erling. Gets out alive. So a little bit about the builds. The Geb, we do see the Soul, the Persephone, a lot of damage, third damage will start to come online. But the Sov pickup, it's just the Fenrir, just the Milan, and just the Nike. Do you think the Sov is what you want on this Geb, or do you think another physical item would be maybe better? Thoughts?
I'd say realistically, if Geb is playing these team fights the way he should be, the only people that should be on your backline are just purely physicals, being all three of the melee quick.
Good point.
So definitely a good pickup, I'd say, but he needs to make sure his positioning is matching that pickup of an item.
Can definitely see your point. Fenrir just trying to see if we get these mids. Nope. Both goes to Goon Squad. It's really good that they are. Goon Squad is making an attempt to secure these mids as very throughout the game. The gold lead is starting to get a little bit out of hand. Maybe that's just the Goon Squad. Maybe just not playing a little bit more to the team comp. We've been having a little conversation around the Geb, trying to position properly, but turns out just to be a little bit out of that. But as we see now, Mortale's looking to just pressure. What do you think they're gonna go for? Is this a fire setup?
They are starting to pressure up. We do see Geb out of position. Fender opts not to do anything. They are just pulling fire, I believe. Still hovering, trying to see if they're going to come in.
Just a little bit poke. All the frontliners going in. The roar comes out from the Cocoland. Grabs of Death does come, connects on the Erlang. Beads do have to be used. The grapple does not connect, but it wouldn't matter. The beads were out anyways. Cocoland's a little bit in trouble. The Mortals are kind of just pushing their way into here. Good Cataclysm by the Fenrir. This Cocoland is still in trouble. Does anything else happen? No, it seems for right now the knockup hits Rom. Ultimate Stellar Burst does come out the soul. A little bit poked on the Scylla. Yeah. Oh, is his friend in trouble now? No, he's perfectly fine. The Cocolan is making a TPN. The taunt does come out from the Erling, but I don't think it's enough. I think the heal does come off. No, he also goes down.
I think the mitigations did buy him enough time off of the Erlang ult, but not enough. Did you see them starting to position again back toward fire? Do have ultimates coming up on the side, I believe, of Purse again. She may have this for next team fight if they play this fight too slowly.
I think they could go in. The knockup comes from the Scylla, Sentinels. Oh, but the Fenrir's trying to follow. Oh, the Fenrir's so low. Oh, but
Oh,
here the Scylla damage coming through. Grasp of Death. It's surprisingly back up again. Ragnarok comes out. This Cocolan should be dead. Oh, a
almost gets his
little.
ultimate off.
Yeah, a little bit sloppy, but it's fine. Sentinels come out of Scylla. The barrages come out from the Rom. Who is he looking for? Probably the Fenrir, right? But he misses, so it doesn't matter. The Scylla is so low. She's just a trooper going back in, even when she's so low. Oh, Iron Monster hits. Can she get a second one? Second one comes
Excellent.
out. Third one.
Oh,
Oh, she dies. But that's well worth, right? That has to be worth.
I definitely think it's going to be very difficult for them to even start fire now with this draft. Just Fenrir and Purse, they have almost no DPS at all. Have to wait for the DPS to come back up.
Let's talk about the Scylla a little bit. I'm actually very happy with the way the Scylla's been performing. Like, though she's died a couple times, died 3 times, not the worst. Oh, wait, pause for that really quick. The Erling just gets blown up. Persephone damage is too much.
Even with
Plus,
the talisman that he has, Persephone just has so much penetration, 40% online. Plus, both of the flat pen items and Soul Reaver, she's melting anything that has any name or label tank. Excellently built from her.
for sure, for sure. Which makes me question his build a little bit. Just getting the pestilence, the double defense is okay with the Nike. They're very physical frontliner, but you have to imagine the Colon is dive. Oh wait, they're doing gold at this moment, and no one knows about it. Well, maybe the Colon didn't, but they just kind of get away with that. Um, this,
Well played objective wise from
yeah.
both. Nice job.
But with this going back to Zakolan, he is diving the backline. He is going to be dealing with this Persephone soul a little more. Do you think his build is optimal for this set, or would you like to see some type of different change?
Uh, Realistically, having double fizz prots, that was obviously you saw it early in the game, helped out a lot, like immensely actually, with the Milan and Nike and lane. But now that we're transitioning to this team fight stage where the fizz prots really are not going to be helping him, the only person realistically that's going to be helping against is the Milan. If the Milan ends up diving or putting any form of DPS on him.
Right, right.
Magical prots are definitely going to be the go-to here between Soul and Purse being the primary DPS. Both magical, obviously. I'd like to see a bulwark at some point. Pestilence is nice, but I do not believe enough.
Yeah, and we did see there they did get the pyro, and this gold lead is just it's starting to build. It's starting to get a little bit out of control, and we are hitting to the point 27 in the game. This is definitely fire giant time, and I would say looking at the board now, it still seems pretty even. Everyone's basically at the same item item power spike, but the Nike does decide to go in. The knockup does come through. Grass deck connects onto the Gab Catalysm only Nike. Ragnarok beats forced out by the Scylla. A lot of things going on. Looking at this Erling. Erling is looking pretty low. He's trying to get the kill, but the Soul and the Persephone just nukes him. Now, Goon Squad just has to look to just survive. They just have to back out. Brutalize coming through the friend rear. The Soul I'm a Monster. Is it can connect with anybody? No, the grapple goes over the I'm a Monster. Just people getting trade out. The friend rear goes down. Oh, that almost hit from the Persephone. That bone rush almost just hit the Sola.
It's
But I
excellently played again from Vulnus Mortale. They're both of the frontliners in that team are just excellent at creating so much disruption in the backline. It makes it very difficult for anyone to get up to get their damage off. Erlang got
here.
caught out. Geb had to solo ult a personal where he would have got out. Fenrir was forcing out the Scylla. There's absolutely no room for them to get their damage off. It's like
Yeah, and
guaranteed fire for them.
I don't know if you saw that, but in that fight, you could see the Nike. She would initiate, she would get the initial like fight going, and then that Fenrir just like after a couple seconds, immediately just ignores everybody and just goes after that back line. Just so much, like you said, so much space coming from this front line from Mortale. Um, they have Fire Giant. What's the next thing to do? Do they push duo, or I mean, I assume they just push duo, right?
Yep. We have towers down on both mid and solo. We're just looking realistically at taking duo side. That duo side Phoenix is always prioritization. It's the farthest from fire. It's also on the side of gold. Gold's gonna be up normally before fire. So if you ever need
Yeah.
to fall back, take gold, play for your fire giant sustain, you can do that as well. Should be good to go here. We do see them positioning on the left side, looking for this tower.
Yeah, and Mortales are in position for this duo T2 push, and they have two members on the right side. Erling's currently back. Yeah, there's no way they can defend this T2. Now we are getting to the point of the game where Phoenix defenses are, here. They have fire. Wow, crazy. How should the Goon Squad be playing these team fights?
Realistically, with Billy not having or not opting at least for blink or beads, it's very difficult for him to either be safe or be aggressive in team fights. I just want to see him on top of this backline, make sure that your ROM more specifically doesn't get picked. Scylla can somewhat fend for herself unless she doesn't have beads. In this case, she
Right.
doesn't, obviously. 20 seconds. We'll see if Vulnus pushes that. Obviously, Vulnus being vulnerable, I'm curious if they'll push with it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
uh, jokes aside, putting him on top of these squishies, just making sure he's safe, making sure they're safe, into probably a big Koa knockup and just nuking either any DPS they can catch out with no relics. Oh, we do see belt
Oh,
popped here in mid lane.
the belt goes off. Daiki goes on to the left side of the map. Ragnarok does come out. The beads do get forced out the ROM. This Kukulin is pretty low. So much going on right now. The Phoenix does eventually go down. Grasp of Death does connect on Gab. They break him free, but he's still a little bit rooted. Not much. This Erling's definitely pick. That stun from the Familiar was really good. But
Oh, an
the
excellent
churn from
crush
the
though on the
Skilla.
Nike.
Yes, the barrage comes out. Does he find who's he looking for? Looking for the Fenrir, but doesn't connect. Just off the mark. I'm a monster. How does that crush not kill him?
I
What?
believe he
Persephone
duped out
gets
of
a
the.
kill?
Oh,
What?
excellent snipe with her one straight downtown. I believe the defender there actually managed to brutalize outside of the crush right before it popped.
Really?
Yes.
That's some good reaction time from that Fenrir, keeping him alive. Man, this Fenrir is just such a problem with him. He's just so mobile. He can go in so deep, and he just doesn't have to worry about it because he uses both his jumps. Oh no, I'm gonna CC. I'm gonna lose about 95% of my health, and then haha, 2 jumps are up. Like that has to be so annoying.
Even
But
with all of that guaranteed safety, unfortunate on that
oh,
pick on the defender.
oh my gosh, Persephone's just running this game. The Grasp of Death, the Bone Rush, it's 2 taps at Scylla. Almost good from the Geb and the Scylla to almost get the Fenrir, but something just a little bit of miscommunication just doesn't happen. I don't know if the root mits or if he just had enough time just to jump before the root connected, but that is definitely not what you want, especially
Agreed.
with this middle Phoenix down. This Fenrir is still being so aggressive, forcing the ult out the Kokolin.
Or just showing that he can at that point. Kokolin even
Yeah.
had magic bubble at that point. There's no pulling him. It's just to pop it for at this stage probably a 60-second cooldown with 30% CDI.
Yep, and they're gonna go after this gold. The gold's gonna go down for easily. At this point, you spend your gold and you just start setting up your next fire
Yep.
if you're the
Posture
Mortale.
for not just fire but EFG. This should be hopefully
Nice point
a
out.
game ending.
I didn't realize this past 30 minutes. This gold lead, man. It's just crazy. It looked so promising at the very beginning of this. When you look at the beginning of this game, like Goon Squad really did look like they were gonna hold through, but now it's just out of control. They get the Pyromancer. I believe Mortel has gone most of the objectives, right? Has Goon Squad got any objectives this game?
I believe they got a Gold Fury earlier on in the match. They did win
Mm.
a team fight, remember, off of the Kokolin rotation.
Yes, yes, yes.
Well played
I
from
remember
that.
that.
But I believe that is the only objective. There's also a counter, in fairness, at top left. So we do see on the side of that 3 Gold Furies, Fire Giant on the side of Vulnus Mortale. Fire
Oh,
has spawned.
fire is up. This is the EFG, so if Mortale can get this, it should be pretty much game from here, but let's see what happens. A little bit going on to the site. Ragnarok comes out, immediately grabs. I can't even see who that is. Grabs that comes out. Stellar Bros comes out. So much damage off this Geb. Geb is dead. taunt comes out from the Erling, but this Erling's everyone just gets blown up.
Oh, such an excellent grasp of death from the Persephone. I believe she got everyone grasp there.
I
She
believe so
was
too.
at 36,000 damage before that fight started. I would like to point that out. That is actually insane.
That is insane. Persephone damage OP. Don't forget about that. This is just me game. Oh, that's a little BM, but that's fine. That's game one, going to Mortale. Very clean for them. They collapsed very well in these team fights. Once they got all the beads out, once they got all like those majors ultimates, any of CC immunity ultimates out, they would just back up and just re-engage immediately. So that's very nice well from them.
Just an excellent showing from Vulnus Mortale. Very well played. I want to see that level of aggression, that drafting, especially next game. Very excited to see the next match.
We're gonna head to a very quick break right there. We'll catch you in game two with the desk.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm gathered on the desk with Ying actually now. Double A still having a few internet issues. So, Ying, what'd you think about the last match?
The game was insane. I must say it was a really good game. It ended very well. I must say that Vulnus Mortale really kind of rallied behind the Persephone for a lot of the team fights. She had at least over, I'd say, 90% of the kill participation. So she was really putting out the numbers. She was really setting up kills with her ultimate and just all around just being a complete pressure and threat in the whole game as a whole. So it was a very good game. You know, the Scylla, it was working really well early for early picks and everything, but as it got later and later, Persephone got her damage online, and, you know, Persephone late game is, you know, out there hitting for 1,000 damage at single ability, plus her plants are going to be chunking. It's just all around unfair to kind of go up against in any given stage.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. She is a very good late game mage, even better damage than even say the Scylla. Um,
Oh, yeah.
so as far as coming in these next picking bands, obviously probably the Persephone is a good band we'd want to see. What else, if you were a Goon Squad, would you want to ban out here?
I mean, there was nothing
Maybe
really
the
worth
same for
banning out. I
Vulnus.
mean, unless, you know, mages right now as a whole are just very strong. So you ban one, there's going to be like four other to pick from. So it's really hard to target ban certain picks. You know, I would say, you know, the Scylla does possess a big pressure threat in lane and just team fights as a whole. I feel like that's a good ban to do. You know, Persephone as well right now is very strong, but you know, there's just way too much stuff to ban and not enough bans to ban at all. So
Yeah, I couldn't
they're just
agree
gonna have to
more.
play more careful in team fights and just try to work around not getting completely thrown out of whack in positioning when the bonus mortale support and solo are kind of running at them and whatnot. They have to kind of keep a keep a good positioning and not get split up and isolated. Other than that, it was a very good game to watch.
Yeah, I couldn't agree
We're gonna
more.
go ahead and take it to a quick be right back screen. We'll be right back with the picks and bans of game two. Take care, everybody. I'll be right back.
Welcome back, everyone. Cowboy again, joined with Smite's most eligible bachelor, Ying. Say hi to the folks again, Ying.
Yo, how's it going?
So, well, we're getting into the picking bands here. This is always game two. Seems to have, of course, your most spicy picking bands because that's going to be where the first adjustment is for the team. And it looks like for the first band we are having, well, it's quite loading for me. What?
So it looks like Vulnus Mortale are going to start off their ban phase by picking off the. No, I'm not sure. I was not here for the first picks and bans, but I do believe they banned Klidna in game one as well.
Yes,
I
they
don't.
did.
It doesn't seem like they're at this point in time worried about any counter picks or target bans. And Goon Squad are going to answer back by banning out Atlas. Atlas is a very strong Guardian right now, especially if you're not first pick. Better just get him banned.
Couldn't
Vulnus
agree more.
Mortale are going to also ban Camazotz, which
Maybe that's
that
just a pressure pick. Just don't want the pressure on them. Kamazot's not terrible right now. He's pretty solid.
I would say he's on the lower end of junglers in my opinion, especially with all the nerfs. I do know he's received quite a few nerfs back to back. So, and they're
The
going
potential
to
solo.
ban Astet, and they're going to get a Persephone and a Thoth ban. So very good, solid bans. What do you think, Cowboy?
Yes. Do you mean Thor? Because I think that was a Thoth band there.
I said Thoth. Sorry, I changed it. Yeah.
Oh, you're good. No, I definitely agree. You know, those are just two of the stronger mages right now. I mean, they're all strong, like you said. But you know, if you don't have to fight against a Persephone or a Thoth, it's always a better day.
Most
Definitely on the.
definitely.
It's very heavy jungle bands right now, or you know, potential solo laners. But I guess that's not terrible. You know, got to limit uh, one of the stronger players.
Yeah, if you can make Cleo solo work, it is definitely a danger come late game. Um, just have that CC on you. Goon Squad looking to draft the Cupid along with a Ganesh for the two round out their dual lane. Haven't seen much Cupid. Uh, I'm not too sure why they you haven't really seen Cupid a lot. Not really a big ADC pick currently right now. I do know in the next coming update they are buffing his heart bomb, but you know, it's fine.
You know, I think it's just a big team fight. Old, it definitely pair well with the Ganesh. Of course, this Medusa Agni, that's just a lot of damage on the other side for Vulnus Mortale. Pairing it with the Gilgamesh, that's some good lockdown and control. This should be a pretty good looking of a team comp for them already.
Yeah. And Good Squad looking to lock in the Thanatos, a very strong jungler right now, in my honest opinion. And for the first round to end out Vulnus Mortale, they are going to draft the Medusa and a Gilgamesh, which are very strong picks still right now, seeing as Gilgamesh hasn't gotten his nerf yet on his jump and ultimate on their scaling. So, still a very strong
Yes,
pick despite the nerf on his two, but we'll see. And they are going to ban out Amaterasu and Geb on respective sides for Vulnus Mortale and Goon Squad.
right. Those are just two very good picks right now that you can just slap into any team comp, and they work pretty well with honestly most teams.
Most
Um,
definitely, yeah.
Especially that Alma, that buff late game is just like having an extra relic on all the time.
Oh,
Um,
yes, for sure. Like always a permanent greater sprint.
exactly, or even a small like frenzy damage buff.
And Good Squad looking to ban out the Fenrir. They feel like it was a pretty big annoyance in the duo lane, so we'll see how it goes for them in this duo lane here for game 2.
You know, I can't disagree either. You know, I find Fenrir supports very annoying, and a Morgan band, not to be confused with Morgan Le Fay. Of course, always a very powerful band. If you know how to play her, she works
Mm-hmm.
like an assassin. Of course, can turn
And
into anyone on the team.
oh, let's not mix her up for the Morgan Le Fay.
Exactly. Yes,
That is the Morgan, yeah.
that's what I said. The
Vulnus
Morgan.
Mortal picking up Jing Chen for the support, and the Goon Squad looking to get the Scylla. And for Vulnus Mortal's jungle, it's actually going to be Daji. Sorry, Gilgamesh going most likely into the solo lane for Jing Chen support, or in rare cases, Jing Chen solo and Gilg support. We'll see how that goes.
I think it'll
Um,
probably be pretty standard here. I don't see them going that spicy with the first round of picks. But
yeah.
yeah, definitely. I'm liking the team comp. A very high pressure for Vulnus Mortal. The Goon Squad, you know, they're kind of going a pretty heavy setup for that Scylla Cupid with these picks they have, and of course, you know, Thanatos being able to just finish off any stragglers. Both teams are looking very good. Do you give an advantage to either or right now?
What was that? Sorry, you
You
cut
give
out
an
for me.
advantage to either team in their comp
I
right
would
now.
definitely say they both have a very good set of uh crowd control amongst both teams, but if I had to give it to one, I definitely do really like Vulnus Mortal's team fight much over Goon Squad's. They have a lot of bigger AoEs to, kind of benefit from. But, we'll see how it goes. One very good place Cerber Assault into a multi-stun Thanatos ult would be very, very strong. We'll see how they pull it off.
I definitely agree. It seems like they're trying to let one or two people carry on Goon Squad while Vulnus is kind of evening the load between them all.
Oh, yeah. So we do have a prediction up. So if you guys want to bet on who will win, other than that, I think that'll wrap up the picks and bans, as I have nothing else to say. We're gonna go ahead and throw it to a quick BR back screen, and we'll be back with game 2 with Recurry and Let Play ABC. So stick around. We'll be right back, everybody.
Game 2, Goon Squad versus Vulnus Mortale. What a set. Getting straight into this, Recurry. Let's talk about the team comp a little bit, because I don't know how I'm feeling right now. On the Mortale side, they have a lot of AoEs, like you mentioned, but on the left side, they have a lot of CC and crowd control. So what are your opinions on that?
Not even just CC. I would like to touch upon this because as I feel it wasn't touched upon enough. This Dodgy, like, I believe that was 9th pick into this draft.
Yeah.
Dodgy into a Thanatos, a Cupid, and a Ganesha. That is going to be extremely rough to deal with. Excuse me. Thana's typically going to be ulting in, so he's not going to have access to that CC immune ult most of the time. Ganesha and Cupid obviously lacking one. Scylla and Serb should be more than fine dealing with this character, but there needs to be beats on Billy this time. I cannot see it being any other way. Even with this Dodgy alone, it's going to be very difficult to play these team fights.
100% correct. That was the same thing I was looking at. I was like, you don't have CC ultimate. You don't have a CC ultimate. You're not going to be having one as well because you'll be using that to engage. So, very nice deduction. And a little bit weird. I didn't think the Ganesh, not the Ganesh. I didn't think the Gilgamesh was going to support. I thought it was going to go solo and the Xingqiu was going to go support. Is that weird or?
I wouldn't say that's weird. I'd say that's good value out of that pick. Gilgamesh is a character that enjoys fighting a bunch, especially early game, where you have a few points in year 1, year 2, where they're just going to be slamming around that level 10, 11 mark. Like most warriors, they get a lot of benefit out of that. Especially with a Medusa in lane, it's a very high pressure ADC, I'd say.
Yeah, for sure.
Going to be very good into this Cupid as well. Should see a lot of kills and pressure over this dual lane.
The mid lane, both mid lanes hurts. Oh, that second was really good. The Dodgy's fine though, but this Agni is playing up a little bit. What does he do? He's just gonna dash the wave. Yeah, he's just gonna dash the wave. I think that's a bit sketch, right?
He's pretty comfortable stepping up there, to be honest. He knows Thana Scythe is down. He knows Thana 3 is down. Realistically, all he takes is maybe crush damage, which is obviously still risky, but excellent
Nice,
stun there from the Gilgamesh.
nice drop kick. He jumps over. Heart bomb is on the minions. The heart bomb does connect with the Gilgamesh, but I don't think it matters too much. The Mortale is fighting into wave pressure, so that's perfectly. That's going to be a gift for the Goon Squad. This Athena is looking to make an early rotation onto this dual lane. We'll see how this breaks out. Dropkick does miss. The sign does go off. Oh, he misses the scythe though. Medusa able to just dash out. This Gilgamesh a little bit in trouble. He just dashes out. Acid spray does hit. Heart bomb, is that a stun? Yeah, but it doesn't do anything. Overall, that's okay. You get Mortale's a little bit weaker, so they're losing a lot more pressure because of this. Another gank coming from mid lane. Thousand Cuts does
So
end up securing Scylla, but Scylla
we,
does get the Agni.
we do see Vulnus Mortale pick up first blood with that Scylla pick. Or,
Correct.
excuse me, she managed to get the first blood there under the Agni.
All right, having a little bit of technical issues, but don't worry, we're going to do a quick pause at the moment, and we will be back as soon as possible. We are back, guys. Game 2, Vulnus Mortale versus Goon Squad 1-1 currently. We'll see what this do. The Gilgamesh has hit the dropkick, beats being forced. Viper shot aren't connecting, but that's perfectly fine. Very nice. It's going to lead up into a very nice purple invade coming from the duo side. It should lead to a very nice purple invade, correct?
You see a solo kill actually in the Cerberus over in solo lane. Not typically the character I would see losing lane is Cerberus. What are your opinions on that as we see some pressure here in dual lane?
Overall, yeah, like especially against the Jing-Chen. Like I understand Jing-Chen can clear the web and whatnot, but like as Serb, you should be able to fight into that Jing-Chen level 1, like to first few levels pretty easily. If not easily, you should get coast by it. I don't ever see a world where you do actually get soloed as a Serb against a Xing, but maybe they're just wanting to fight this game and try to diff one another potentially. But the purple wave 8 does go to the Mortale. Very nice by them. No one a bit in trouble. The map seems very quiet, except for some brawling in the solo side, but their solo side when they're not brawling. But that kill on the Serb is very definitely gonna hurt him.
You
The
see him
Xing does
hit
hit level
ult
5.
first. Yes.
Ult. Oh, he does get caught. The gassing breaths do get interrupted. But other than that, everything does seem fine. Hook armor goes. Stingent Torment does come out, but nothing goes about it. Paralyzed Spit does miss him, plus the wave. So that Serb's actually sitting in a pretty bad spot. But
See
we'll go.
Dodgy pathing over here. She's posturing for a gank, and again, these are the two characters without CC immune ults. She can't look for the Ganesha, she can't look for the Gem. Or the Cupid, excuse me.
Nope.
Just is not too out of mana.
Even with the wandering spirit or trickster spirit, not wandering, Cupid's just gonna float her away, and Ganesha's just gonna dash out. Nothing too big of a deal there.
I believe if she did have a little bit more mana, she might have tried to set up there for her Medusa.
Oh,
Excellent stun from the Gilgamesh.
drop kick goes up. Oh my, that's just blown up. Drop kick plus Medusa's dash, stunning him, keeping in place there, and just blowing up with Viper shot and acid spray and whatnot. The Serb is getting pretty low, but it is going to turn out to be a gank. Perfect. That until hits his ult, hits a sight. That's a G00N.
So
And
A
plus,
can there as well. They are posturing for blue buff. Sorry to cut you off here, but
go
you
ahead.
see them. You see Thanatos? I don't think he knows. Oh,
A little bit of brawling happening. Nothing too extraordinary is happening. Thousand cut is being used. Thanatos is getting a little bit poked out, but that sight does come out. Dology ultimate does connect and hits. Is this gonna be a kill? Very nice. Actually, a solo, but paralyzed spit does hit. That does hurt a lot. The beads do have to be forced out by the Dodgy, but regardless, very nice from the Dodgy being played. Rainfire comes down. Another Rainfire comes down. Does he dash? No, he hits all 3 Rainfires. Perfect.
bit of miscalculation there in the Agni. He believed he killed him there. Started walking away. Started living at about 10 or so HP. Still
Yeah,
managed to
cool.
pick up the kill after though.
Cool guys don't look at explosion. That's what a. But another purple invade goes to the Mortales as well. Man, both purples being lost from the Goon Squad. That is not sitting too well for them. Oh, is this acting gonna solo the Scylla? And he does. He does. And that gold lead is going to Mortale once again. But this time I would argue this is a little bit scarier. It is only 5 minutes in, and they are about 2K up. Not that great. How did
Also,
what go ahead.
oh, I was gonna say it again. It's also a pressure comp. You do see Medusa stepping up here. Excellent ult and the flick into the Cupid.
Yeah. Very nice. Asprey does connect on the Ganesh and the Cupid. Is this going to be a tower dive from the Mortales? It is. The Winter Shamalik does come out. This Cupid is stuck right in there. Trickster Spirit comes out. Ult comes out. Connects.
Paolo was out as well. She does manage to secure onto the Ganesha.
But huge rotation coming in from the Goon Squad. Scylla is going to be the first to contact. Hits the Sikkim, hits the Crush. Perfect mechanical play by the Scylla. Now they're chasing after the Medusa. Scythe does miss, but the Scythe does hit. Medusa dash is being used. Asprey goes off. Oh, the Crush barely misses. And that should just be the end of this. Sentinel does get used to get out of that situation. And yeah. That was you gotta think about that. Is that really worth for the Mortales? Because they end up losing the Dodgy, which is did get the solo kill from the Thana. Did get the kill on this Cupid, but does die to the Scylla, which arguably you do want is kind of struggling, so you kind of put her back into the game. But the Rainfire comes out, Flame Wind comes out. Is this Agni just going to solo the Cupid? No, barely misses.
Right outside of it. Scylla is here though. That is Agni dash.
Agni dash, but the Agni's out. No way, no one's going to catch him.
Scylla does almost lose her life walking over that rain of fire there.
Yeah, both Scylla and Cupid. This Agni is making plays right now. He is here. He is mid. He is damage. But what can this Goon Squad do? Because it is starting to get out. It is starting to become a snowball situation. Only 3K down, but it is 7 minutes. What can this Goon Squad do to maybe slow down? Is it the wards? They have to maybe group a little bit better when it comes to these buffs.
Realistically, it's very difficult to play under pressure when you have characters like Gilgamesh that are able to just 1v2 in your backline. Do force out Cupid beats here.
Oh,
Ganesha does get picked in the back, they are just gonna give this up. Do you see Scylla rotating over?
just not there. But the scythe, this is that gonna kill him? No, this is the auto. The Cupid is gonna try to get out. The field of love coming through. Thanatos says goes on beats up. Oh, but the Cupid dies. They turn that. They turn that. They lose one, but they get two out of it. Paralyzing spit
You see
does
a
hit.
Serb rotation.
Oh my gosh. Stringent Torment does come out, but the Rainfire is coming from Agni. Flame Wave. Is this gonna be a kill? Yes. Daji is gonna
It's
clean it up.
as with these mid and these pen buffs, it's just very difficult once a mage gets going. Excellent steal
Mm.
from the Ganesha. But back on the topic though, once a mage gets going, like this Agni, especially an artillery mage such as Agni, it's very, very difficult to play any part of the map. When he can be
Yeah,
there, be over the wall, and drop well over 1500 to 2k damage at even this stage of the game, and the most tier team
I
to see a
can't
3k
imagine.
gold lead. Sorry.
I can imagine this Agni not gonna go. I can see a world where Agni does not go Spear of Desolation. He's definitely gonna kill. He's 5-1 right now. Getting that, if he gets Death Soul online, is continues this trend. Oh, he's gonna be doing so much damage.
We do see him at double the damage of any of the other players on the side of Goon Squad. Technically almost quadruple here on the side of his opponent on the Scylla. Scylla's finding it very hard to find any form of just space to get her damage off.
Dropkick does go on the Ganesh. The Gilgamesh is following, but nothing happening too much. Dark Pillar does get dropped, maybe trying to keep the Gilgamesh there, but this Gilgamesh is pressing down. He just does not care. He says, "Ha, you used ult. I'm Gilgamesh." Taji picks up a kill. Is this Gilgamesh gonna pick up a kill? No.
He does
Missile
get baited
alerts.
by the shells. Greed does take over there.
Yes, yes. Mortale is just running this game. They are just saying, "We are here. You're dying. You're losing your buffs. You're losing your farm. You're not being be able to play the game." Looking
It's
at,
definitely, I'd say that's more
I'm
of a crush of morale at that point that a support feels that comfortable that he can just walk behind you tier 2 and 5 year support of all people
yeah,
that hard.
and it's not even that bad of a trade because it is support. Like, oh wow, you killed the support. I mean, yeah, he's 2 and 6 right now. Like, he's not worth that much gold. He is worth a little bit of gold because they're a little bit ahead, but not that much gold. So
We
that
do
is,
see, by the way, yeah, as Omni's pointing out here, stone cutting pickup. Runeforge obviously picked up last game on the side of this Fenrir. Stone cutting though, just an excellent damage item, excellent tank item.
yeah, this support is not a support. He is double jungle, is what he's telling us. When Shamal comes out, Cupid flutters away. Dropkick goes on the Thanatos. Oh, this Thanatos is getting eaten alive. The damage, last minute damage from Medusa, plus the auto from Gilgamesh is just gonna be enough to connect that kill. And now Lucilla's gonna have to retreat. This Cupid has to back. There, Mortale is just in the Goon Squad's jungle. They can't walk up. This Gilgamesh is a little bit out of position. Sicken barely misses. Dark Pillar gets put out. Sentinels gets put, but the Gilgamesh follows, and that's just it.
It's
That's just
just
it.
so much damage. Once you get that stone cutting procs, it's virtually doing true damage on the side. Oh, we do see a Dajio.
Of course.
Does connect.
All me is the Gilgamesh saying at this moment. But the Gold Fury is gonna be looked at right now. They are starting to pull it. No, I don't see a world where Goon Squad can contest this. Nope. Rain fires to secure it, and they are out of there. Yeah. This point, Goon Squad maybe not in the best position they want to be. Maybe probably just a bit rough, but that is okay. Just dodgy. Oh,
Runs
but this
safe from the Thanatos, but he does not manage to pick up the kill there.
it would have been a
Uh,
kill if the Thanatos was like on level or maybe at the same item level, but because of not, it's still really good trade for the dodgy.
it
Still
was
really
a
good trade.
much more dominant showing here. Excellent stun from the Gilgamesh into the Medusa Dash. Does pick up a kill on the side of Vulnus Mortale. It's just much more dominant of a showing than last game. They're playing this pressure comp much better than they did last time around.
Oh,
You see
100
Agni just poking tower.
100% sure. With the pressure from dual lane, obviously we've touched on that a little bit. We're seeing that full flight. Oh, but the Gilgamesh diving D2 again, getting the kill. The Thanatos is en route. The Gilgamesh, or not the Gilgamesh, the Ganesh does seem like he is falling as well. Hovering death coming from Thanatos. Does he connect it? He does. That's a bit. That is really good. That is what you want to see. sends Torment, paralyzes Spit. They have to kill this Agni. This Agni's out of position. They just unfortunate. I think you just go on to Agni. Like he is by himself. You have Serb, you have Ganache. You don't the Gilgamesh doesn't need to be there, but those frontliners could definitely kill him.
Was it? I think Sandwich was questioning pulling the Agni back. He did have the opportunity to, obviously. Agni
Mhm.
held onto his beads, but he was also afraid, I believe, of his jungler dying there in the process. So,
That is
well, support play, I'd say, from
yeah,
the side of Enter
definitely.
Sandwich.
Unfortunately, they were able to get the beads out of the Agni. Which does he have beads? Yeah, no beads. Being the Agni did not feel threatened at all to beads. He's just like, I'm gonna take this ult. I'm gonna get out anyways. Looking at the map a little bit, the Mortales are looking to group at this Pyromancer. I don't believe the Goon Squads have any wards on this Pyro, so I believe we should just go down freely. Oh, the Thanatos hears something. He definitely knows they're doing it. Can he steal? Gilgamesh is blocking it, blocking that site secure, so definitely a no.
Realistically, if I'm Vulnus Mortale here, just obviously, I mean, they are very far into the game to the point where it's going to be very difficult. A
That
little
is
bit of the
disrespect. That is
DM back there.
disrespectful. That is disrespectful.
But yeah, we are really far ahead right now at the side of Vulnus Mortale. They should just be looking to try to force fire, make sure that there's no space at all for this team to breathe. If I'm Goon
Yep.
Squad, it's
Viper should.
very difficult to get farm, as you can tell, with this Cupid just getting forced out of most of his wave.
But the gank is coming in. The Thanatos. No, they immediately say no. We're not gonna deal with this guy. This guy's too ahead. He's probably just gonna 1v2 us. We don't want to deal with that. Probably the better decision. Gilgamesh is just living in this T2 area. Just won't get out of this. Just forces out Hover and Death immediately. That, and as you mentioned it from earlier, like this data says he's either going to be hovering Death into fights or he's going to be hovering Death out. And when he's hovering Death out of fights, that is not a good look for him. He's a Thanatos is a god that wants to press that W key. Everyone knows he's that I will diff you god, but it's just not working out this game. Do you think Thanatos should be the pick here in this game, seeing how it's going so far?
On, hold that thought as we do see Gil catch a nice drop kick into the Scylla. On, at this stage into the game, unfortunate there for the Cerberus. I'd say
Where's
at this
Shimal?
stage in the game, he's a very hard dive character, but they're not getting too much value out of it.
The
You see
Gilgamesh
the
does go
Gilgamesh
down. Yeah.
eventually fall.
Oh,
But
but it was a bait. It was a bait the entire time. How? Oh no, the Mortale's gonna definitely get. There's no way they lose this fire giant. The rate of fire is coming out to secure. Perfectly good.
is a 15-minute fire, more than likely just going to use that to knock down as many towers as possible. Put another 1,500 to 2K per person on their pockets. Definitely going to be a lot of gold eventually here, after they get their support back, of course.
Yep. And the Mortales are heading to that 10k lead. Not quite 10k, almost there, but it is almost at 10k, which is very frightening. 60 minutes game, way worse than last game. Mortale, the Goose Squad was able to keep it even mainly through most of the game. Was more like from the 25 minutes thereon is when they like totally got it, when Mortale totally got out of control. But this is looking very, very slim for the Goons to be able to come back.
I believe that was only an Agni bomb, his passive, and I dare say Agni 1 did over 70% of the Thanatos HP. At
Petrified
this
comes
stage,
out. Oh
oh
my
my
gosh.
goodness.
That's so
At this
much
stage of the
damage.
game, it is so difficult to push back. We just if
Stench's Torment comes out, does grab one person. Sikkim, the monster does connect on the Jing Chen, but does it kill anybody else? The Gilgamesh gets another kill onto the Thanatos. And he's not scared. He's not scared at all. This is his spot now. This T2 area hits his.
playing with quite a low HP boy, he does not have beads either. So Scylla does manage to land a Sikkim. We'll pick up the Gilgamesh if she can catch him.
Just look at the item difference. Look at that Medusa. Medusa about I'm gonna do quick math really quick. 5 levels up. I don't know if she's gonna finish that Wind Demon or if she's gonna finish Wind Demon, maybe get like a T2 of a different item. But regardless, that item gap is once he gets a Wind Demon on, it is going to be huge, especially since they just got gold. This item power spike this Medusa's gonna grab, she's gonna hit even harder. It's gonna make it harder for this Cupid to do anything.
Wind Demon
Two
and a
items.
full Silver Bridge. Oh my goodness.
This Medusa.
There's Oliver Penn online. As you can see on the side of net worth here at the bottom left, most of these players are ranging anywhere from 2k on the side of the Gilgamesh, all the way to almost 4k up, 3k I suppose, more so on the side of this Medusa. That's actually insane how much gold these people have.
It is insane. It's not only just Medusa being 2 items up. Also look at Solar Lane. Xingchen is an item up. Dose Celestial is a bit of a cheaper item. That still matters when you think about Power Spike. The Dodgy is looking to be 1 item ahead. Oh, but the solo is going to come out. The Gilgamesh just solos the Cupid. Where's Shamal? Just kills her. Or kills him.
Stone Cutting and Runeforge definitely more than enough power to allow you to solo anybody. That is more akin to a solo laner per se at this stage of the game than an actual support. And as we've seen Havoc's been playing most of this time, he's more than
And
comfy playing like that solo laner. We do see Scylla forced out B2.
Dark Pillar comes out, but the Agni does find a kill onto the Cerberus. Bit more rainfires coming out of the from the Agni, but it looks like they're just not sure what they're trying to do here. I think the Gilgamesh gets out with 1 HP, about pretty low. The middle Phoenix is going to eventually go down, and it's just looking very dark for the Goon Squad. I think the Goon Squad they just have to hope and pray that they can just get their. They just have to hope and pray they can get somehow back into the game. I don't see a
Need
way
to
how
be
they can do
looking
that.
at this stage of the game. If I'm them, I need to be looking at my big playmakers, my Serb, my Ganesha. Just look for any form of misplays in positioning on any of these squishies. Drop my ults,
Uh,
get my Thanatos in there. It's just very tragic that he's getting picked in some of these situations.
the friends gets Pop, and this Phoenix is just looking to get Mel. Not too fast, but it is going down pretty quickly. It is just going to look down. I don't think. Oh, no. Stingy Torment comes out, grabs 2 of them. Paralyzed Spit. I don't know if he disconnected. Oh, almost his Agony, but the dive is going back on the backside of the map. Dodgy ult does come out. He hits the
See
Serb.
Paulo.
Oh, and he also hits the Ganesh.
Oof.
They just couldn't do anything. They just couldn't do anything.
Looks like it should be game here. We do have all 5 up on the side of Vulnus Mortale. They are going for a PM kill on this Cupid before. It
Triple
should
kill.
be game here.
Triple kill coming from the Dodgy. And it's just Mortale just looking so strong, playing the early game so well. Oh, but the Dentos does get it last minute kill.
Still a last pick for him, but just such a dominant showing from Vulnus Mortale that second game. That was very well played. I saw very few mistakes across the entire board. Very impressed with that.
Very impressive, yes, indeed. But that was that set. Mortal getting away with the 2-0 on Goon Squad. Very unfortunate for the Goon Squad, but game 1, we have to give them a little bit of credit. Game 1 was looking a little bit promising. I think the Goon Squad did a very good job. Game 1 is just holding on. Lost it at towards the end. Just unfortunately, when it came to game 2, they just couldn't hold on at any point of the game. And Mortal, as you can see, just dominating the map.
Yep, they. I do feel like Goon Squad had the reins quite a bit in that first game. It was a bit tragic that team fights just not go their way. Very unfortunate for them. Would like to see more of both of these teams in the future, though. Curious to see how this goes.
All right. And we are going to go on a short break. We will be back. So stick around for a little bit post game analysis. I'm not sure what happens after these things are done, but we will see you soon.
Welcome back, folks. Cowboy and Ying here again. Well, Ying, that was a very decisive second game to end this set. Do you have any outward comments on it?
Nothing really out of the ordinary, but the only thing I must say was Vulnus Mortale really did play lights out this game. No chance for really a comeback or anything for Goon Squad. They were just getting shut down every avenue they were trying to like crawl out of. So other than that, it was very good set, very good closing. You know, Vulnus Mortale coming out of the set 2-0 from a team that was Vanaheim, and they went down a division. So it was a good matchup to most definitely for Vulnus Mortale to show that they're a strong team and they played played that really well. Other than that, that's
Yeah,
all I really had to say.
yeah, I definitely agree with you, Ying. Honestly though, the one thing that kind of surprised me is we both had it wrong. Ended up being a Gilgamesh support, and well, basically nearly like a double jungle comp. I think that definitely helped apply the late game pressure. But yeah, that was just a overall great win for Vulnus Mortale. I mean, it's really about
Most
all
definitely.
I have for it. So I think that really is about to wrap us up, folks. So y'all be sure, if you haven't already, please follow the channel and join our Discord. We also have a Twitter, and of course, all those notify when we will be going live. So if you enjoy this, come on in, join some games with us. Until next time, see y'all.